Hello everyone! Welcome back! It is Saturday, I am your friendly neighborhood Prax, welcome to the channel, and tonight we return to a song of Agapia's fortune. I have around me some wonderful, wonderful friends. PB will be joining us in a short minute, but other than that, we're gonna go around, let everybody introduce themselves, and then we'll see where everybody ends up. So why don't we start with Hannah today. Hi Hannah, how are you?
Hi, I'm fabulous. Thank you for asking. I am Hannah, she, her, and in this game I'm playing Malik Ibsali, he, him, who is a bard for all intents and purposes. Very disillusioned, but very talented. Thank you for asking. So
I feel like that's a thing that could be true. Then directly underneath Hannah, we have PB as you slide in perfectly on time. Hello PB, how are you? How are you feeling today?
Hi, I'm good and absolutely not in at all a rush. I doing great. I'm playing Tibian. I'm playing Tibian, who is a halfling unarmed fighter who is very conflicted as to what they're about to do starting this session.
Alrighty then, we'll find out why there's a conflict in a minute. Underneath PB we have Chris. Hi Chris, how are you?
I'm doing all right. We shall see how the session plays out, though. I'm Chris Geary. My pronouns are he/him. I'm playing Javi, whose pronouns are also he/him, and we will see what the Cleric of Twilight might be able to provide.
Yes, that will be interesting to see what Javi could bring to this table. Next to Chris, we have Lynn. Hello, Lynn. How you doing tonight?
Doing great. Hey, happy to play with everyone again and figure out what the hell happened. But I am Lynn, Gremlin Art, she, they, and tonight I am playing the fabulous human bard, Fiorella Barrel Ember, who was having a good, decent time. We didn't even get to the fun part, and the undead came, and one took a good swipe at her very, very expensive blue glass dress. So there's that.
True.
And someone was very rude.
I mean, that's a fair-ish assessment. A fair-ish assessment. But that's a choice. And then directly above Lynn, we have Tall Squall. Hello, Tall Squall. How you doing? How's life going?
Greetings, I am Tall Squall, he, him, and I am playing Thorn, the Hedgeborn, also he, him. And Thorn yeeted himself off the balcony because he is tapped after being grappled and trying to hit one of these things and was down to less than a quarter of his hit points and was like, hey, you know what? Maybe there's something more I can find out elsewhere. And actually, possibly has. So we shall see.
We shall see indeed. There might be some interesting things for Thorn to find out. And above Thorn, we have Pope. Hi, Pope. How are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm doing well. Pope here, Pope World on Twitter, Pope World on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. Today, I'm back here with the Agapia crew playing Bandibus the Grey. Both of this use he, him pronouns. Well, I'm great. Bandibus is doing his best John McClane impression right now. Like, come to the capital, have a few drinks, it'll be a good time. No, there is no good time. There is only rage and broken glass.
But did you make fists with your toes?
Can't say I haven't.
I'm just saying.
You have to make fists with your toes in the carpet. It will help. You know, it'll seriously help. Maybe. Well, it helped John McClane until he lost his shoes. But that's not that's not your problem right now. Right now, you have a problem. Right now, your problem is, what are you going to do, my fine folks? We're going to hold off on Thorn, because Thorn's in a very different location than the rest of you. The rest of you are all in the ballroom still. The dead, or undead, are finally all dispatched. You have a large group of people. A large number of the general civilians have been moved out. Thorn followed them. And when we last left, we'd those to the eastern end of the ballroom had seen the remains strewn along the about right here, big red X, for a reason, of His Imperial Highness Alexander Mackinnon, the Crown Prince of the Empire of Varoom, for whom this ball was to celebrate his intended coronation as Emperor tomorrow morning. He is, well, was alive when you started this little incident, and now he's been eviscerated and his innards have been artfully arranged along the stairs. What are you like to do?
So just a quick question before. I killed something in that little corner. I
Here?
didn't notice anything over here. There
You
was a baddie I came in, hit, and then the guard murdered him, and then I left again to do the thing.
Yep.
Did I notice that on the way through with my passive, or
With your passive, you would have noticed that there was that he was fighting something,
okay?
but
So-
then but here's the thing.
Okay.
Your passive would have given you the fact that there was something occurring. To have seen anything
Yeah.
more, and you would have had to have taken a moment to look around, right? Because battle
Yeah.
focus becomes a thing for everybody.
Yeah, it's more of the fact of I didn't notice a bunch of entrails on the ground when I
No,
left.
when you
was more
left, he
my
was still
question.
upright.
Okay.
How long after you
Um,
left he became unupright, you're not sure.
Okay. I just didn't want to be held accountable for not noticing the crown prince dead on the ground.
What the guards are for. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault. Or the guards
Oh
are-
no, there's a lot of fault to go around, but it's not necessarily to be.
Javi's not wasting any time and is going to move as quickly as possible to and like holler out orders at the guards to basically kind of pile all of the pieces together.
Hearing this, Banderas spends a first level slot. Aid now. Twisting the hand, and an unseen servant pops up. Meat put in pile.
Oh no.
If I'm going to be able to try and revive him, we must act very hastily.
Tibian is looking for Pilter Henning and Anik, and just doing a like walk out and seeing like, can I see the three anywhere, if they're like alive, if they're okay?
Could you roll me a perception as you're actively looking for them?
Will do.
Okay. With what my rule is, if it's that far below your, unless you crit fail, it's that's far below your passive, I'll take your passive. Which I think is just a general good house rule. Because there's nothing to really interrupt you. You can see Henning, emerging from underneath one of the tables.
Mm-hmm.
You do not see, what's her name? Anik.
Anik. I am going to start looking. I'm just gonna start running to the last place I remember seeing them, and I'm going to do that.
Okay. We'll come back to that in a minute. What are Theo and Malik doing?
Definitely drawn in by the conversation over here about the dead body and strewn parts. So gonna head over to see what's going on over here.
I'll say you can get there. Because they're not actively fighting, you can probably get there in what amounts to a round if you're just running. Avi, are you running as well?
Oh yes, full speed.
Okay, so
Which
you're
is
gonna, what, 40 feet?
45 times 2, so 90.
Yeah, you can get there in easily. You see a very artfully arranged entrails, internal organs.
Trying to kind of like count, like, is everything there? Everything vital? Did they take? Is the heart missing? Is the brain missing?
Well, the head is still there, definitely still
Okay.
attached.
'Cause sometimes these things could be rituals of undead,
Mhm.
and certain parts are sometimes taken for other rituals. So
And
I would-
speaking of rituals, I want to, you say they were artfully arranged. I wanted to see if there was any familiarity to the way they were arranged, like that it might be symbolic of something.
So can I get an arcana from Malik and a medicine from Javi? Because ooh, 28. Ooh,
Wow.
2 crits. I'm here for this. Javi, everything is there that is necessary. You notice a portion of the liver is missing. That could be just because of just general. It looks like somebody ripped the crown prince with bone and claw, so it could just be like the claw punctured the liver and a portion of it was torn off, but the majority of it is there, and you are aware of the fact that you don't need all of your liver to live. It's fine. It regrows. Malik, this does look ritualistic. This looks intentional. The way the limbs and the entrails themselves are displayed, and again, it's on the stairs themselves. So laying, and Alexander is not a small man. He's a man of 6'2", 6'3", so he spans 2 or 3 steps in and of himself, just kind of lying, the length of the body laying out spans a few steps, going up the stairs. The entrails are kind of intentionally placed. There is a reason that this is done. You're not sure what it is. It doesn't seem inherently magical in itself. There doesn't seem to be any like other components of magic that are going on here. Nothing that like usually you would see something like this and then there would be pieces like other herbs or candles or other pieces to add to the ritual itself. There doesn't seem to be anything like that. So whatever has done this intentionally and with purpose and design, but it doesn't look like a spell is in the act of casting at the moment.
Okay.
Javi, what are you doing? Or what is everybody doing again? I guess I should ask.
Bandibus just going, okay, so what do you all need aside from meat of this puzzle gathered together?
As long as everything's together, I can attempt to revive him.
All right, let's be safe than sorry. I'm going to cast Remove Curse on the Imperial Meat Puzzle.
We're going to cast Remove Curse on the Imperial Meat Puzzle. Always a wise decision. I just want to check certain phrasing. Like you do. Okay. It is not currently cursed. If there is any such.
Just being thorough. We're going to dry clean this meat before it's reassembled.
Javi, you're almost positive that you've got about 15 seconds before you will not be able to use Revivify.
My last few actions, once everything's together, is I will pull from my bag of bounty a offering of food to Vestru, symbolic of one's last meal, sort of thing. And with it, two coins, as many cultures use to put over the dead, or in the eyes of the dead, as a way to pay the fare. I'll place those over the eyes, and cast Revivify.
What does it look like when Javi casts Revivify?
It's kind of a he kneels next to the body, and like I said, he's placing out offerings in different sorts next to the body, and then the coins on the eyes, and reciting prose, not quite poetry, but prose, beseeching Avestru that this is not the time for this soul yet, that they have been taken prematurely by unnatural means. And it ends leaving it to Vestru's wishes as to whether or not the last friend beckons them on to the next life.
Would you roll me a religion?
And I'm going to use one of those rerolls. This
Yes.
feels like a big moment.
Mm-hmm.
16. 16 is definitely better than 10. Everyone can see this moment seems to slow down. Everything just kind of stretches out. That moment of deja vu when you look and you feel this sensation of time extending itself. Not stopping. Not really pausing. But a minute feels like 30. Second feels like 10 minutes. You know that it's still going and still marching forward. Then you see slowly the entrails creep inside the remains. The rib cage closes around. Skin and tissue and blood, well, most of it anyway, seeps back into the body. A moment extended even longer, and it's like looking through a long tunnel. And then all of a sudden time seems to fast forward, and you're all moving at the same space again, and Alexander is on the ground, breathing, and kind of staring around very concernedly at the people who are around him. Man was just dead for
Few seconds.
Almost a minute.
almost a minute.
Good,
Well,
good.
almost 5 minutes. Or, yeah.
We nearly lost you there.
Where are my brothers and my sister?
Taken by the gods.
Well, except for what was it, Armand? Whichever one fought by our side and was victorious. He's still there.
Arfin. Not Arfin. Agnar.
Adnar, there we go. Adnar is here. The rest have been whisked away to safety. And I'll call his brother over.
I think that's a perfect sign to segue over to Thorn. Thorn, you are currently disguised, looking like one of the guards. Following the crowd, noticing a lot of the VIPs had been moved into one area, and the Imperial family itself had been kind of shunted off to another location, kind of standard SOP when,
So of the Imperial family, it's just Arfin and Honora, correct?
Arfin, Honora, and Yelena went with them. Technically, Yelena is the cousin, and I mean, she's like 27th in line, but she hangs out enough with them that...
Gotcha.
She's
but the dukes and duchesses and all those others are not going with them. They're in this sort of general holding area.
Yeah, they were kind of separated as well. So like you have the foreign VIPs, the local nobility, and then the imperial family itself. You know, kind of standard SOP when
Gotcha.
you've got multiple high-level protectees that you need to defend. The guards are going to break up the various high-level and various security threats and reasons, because of course, like, the foreign dignitaries are both high-level protectees, but also possibly, you know, they don't know if they're still a threat to the family themselves. And then you've got the other nobility who might also be a threat to the family themselves. So...
Right.
So which one are these groups of three are you following?
Knowing better and knowing there's probably enough magical protections around the imperial family, probably going to stay around with local nobility, with what I had seen previously, but also not, Thorn is well aware of the use of magic, especially up here in the capital, and so is going to be wary, knowing that he does not have a high level glamour that he has placed upon himself, just a low level subterfuge. So he's relying both somewhat on his stealth, or I would say more his ability to blend in as much as the disguise self. So certainly not marching up to anybody, but staying sort of in the general phalanx of guard.
Okay. Is there anything you're looking for in particular? Where are your attention focused, I should say?
Certainly on the dukes, the Duke of the East, the Duke of the West, and the Duke of the North, Kovu and his spouse Dulan, who were out on the patio with him, and then Duke Brandt and his new young wife, Duchess Sandrine.
Okay. In that case, you're focusing on them themselves with your passive, both perception and insight. It's easy to see the fact that Lucas Corvu and Dulan are disconcerted and don't know. Dulan is definitely kind of shifting his self, and you are a warrior in just a general sense. You can definitely see him him shifting his psyche from being a guest to being on guard. And there's this kind of tension of psychology that's going on there, where he's shifting his entire, and he seems to be reaching for a weapon that isn't there. He's going for, you can see him reaching to his shoulder a number of times, like he wants to draw something, but it's not there because he's dressed in fine wear. Duke Sidor's Ostrovicus, I gave the guy his name and I can't say it. Ostrovicus is kind of seated in one of the chairs in this room they've set up, and pulls out a deck of cards and kind of starts shuffling it, and definitely playing with his hands in that kind of way. Well, now I'm gonna hurry up and wait, and I really don't care kind of way. He was a member of the poker party earlier. Kenneth Brandt seems to be pacing and anxious in a way that's more of like someone who thinks he should know everything that's going on and isn't being told everything that's going on. Sandrine is being tended to by a couple of the ladies' maids. She looks a little pale, a little upset. She keeps kind of like, every time Kenneth walks in front of her pacing, she would like reach out and like kind of grab for his hand, but he keeps pacing and occasionally making demands of various guards at the doors about, I need to know how's the emperor, where's the crown prince, what is going on, where's the army,
Right.
being more loud and annoying than actually help and taking command. Yeah.
Just as a note, Reap, of course, has gone back sort of into its tattoo form. So I'm not holding a giant sickle in my hand.
All right.
I think just sort of seeing what's going on there. Again, not wanting to sort of jump in. I mean, is there any sort of alarm that has been raised back from the ballroom? I mean, I, the player, know what's going on back there, but is there been any? Are we too far away to hear any alarm that might be raised of what had happened, even though it's now kind of solved?
At this point, you would have probably just gotten the guards at the door have started to murmur, and there's a conversation. It's very, you probably would have been overheard because you're paying into being a member of the guard and being a phalanx, so you can overhear the conversation, but it's very obviously being played as the crown prince was injured, he's going to be okay, a cleric is tending to him, everything will be fine. Don't panic the guests, don't panic anybody.
Right.
So,
are any of sort of having a take of our local nobility, as upstanding as they all are there any of, I know we've mentioned the folks who are missing, but are there any of the foreign nobility that seem to be acting suspiciously or overly calm, or even more so, anxiously awaiting an announcement or ruckus that has yet to occur?
Go ahead and roll me an insight as you take around this look, see with any of the guests are possibly upset.
That's an 18.
With an 18, you can see some. Well, Han and Shui aren't there. You know that. The local nobility of the foreign nobility who is here. Hold please while I double check who would be in that room. You see a group of the Sisters of the Mother's Mercy. They're kind of off on one end of this holding room. They're kind of praying rather loudly and you're not sure if they're playing for everybody or against everybody, but there's a lot of that going on right now. None of them are there. None of them are there. Queen Asfred's son is in the room. He seems more anxious, but at the same time, you can also see with that 18 that he's anxious in a way that's like he's hoping for good news about something. He's hoping for positive explanations of something. Perhaps there was someone else he was concerned about that was still in the room that didn't get out with them, and he doesn't know about that. He's being tended to by one of the staff. He's got a couple cuts from these claws on his torso. He's still upright and walking, but not well. And that is, which of the brothers came? Oh, hold on. I have this in my notes. Which of the two brothers came? Yeah, it was, Ingvar who came. Or no, Thorvid. Thorvid is who's the elder. Thorvid, who's a priest of Tamandra, Lady of the Waves. He is not, however, a cleric. He is merely a priest. And because you see that he's not healing himself. You also can see Yamin is brought in a little bit later. She again looks a little anxious, more like she's waiting for news. And then momentarily after, Nucera comes in and kind of has an arm around her and is saying, no, Theo and Malik are fine. They will join us shortly. and he seems to be comforting his wife. None of the people from Walaba are in this room. Kalfani, Adama, and Zakia are still in the ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
And that... Yeah. Of everybody else who's still here, there doesn't seem to be like an anticipatory...
Right.
In a negative sense.
Yeah, no one is waiting to step in as though they've got some sort of foreknowledge about what the guards are currently discussing. I don't want to take up much more time. Just with Quickie, I can pop another divine sense because it's probably worn off. Any messy, any of those fun things.
Celestial Fae Fiend or Undead?
Dead, yeah.
Not within 60 feet of you.
Okay.
But that brings us back to the ballroom. And Tibian. Tibian, you have been looking, while other people have been dealing with the Imperial Meat Puzzle, you've been looking for Enoch, correct?
Yes.
You will find Enoch. Enoch is hurt. Badly. Not dead, but very badly injured. There are, however, a couple, there's remains of one of these bone claws, on the ground next to her, that looks like it's been fried. It's what happens when you're storm sorceress. Electricity is Enoch's friend, and you would know this from having spent a lot of time with her. Because of that, she is, however, still breathing, and bleeding.
Yeah. I'm gonna go up to Enoch and say, oh, now look at the mess you have gotten yourself into. As I'm like looking at her wounds.
I want a drink. I want 6 drinks.
I'll get you the whole bottle. You know what? 2 bottles.
That is fair. I'm not standing up. Henning can come to me. And she kind of like lays back down, and it ends up like she's half under one of these tables that had been kicked over.
Yeah. I make like the area a little bit more presentable for her, and I keep an eye out for Pilter, our cleric, our resident cleric, and to be like, come on, buddy, it's time to go. I might even, if he's close enough, I might even just go to him and be like, hey, Enoch needs help, and then run back.
Pilter is very not here.
At all? Nowhere?
Nowhere that you have found. Henning you have seen and has started to rip up things. He still looks a little angry. They still look a little angry. They are a little well, you know that most people get out of the way when Henning gets angry. But you do not see Pilter anywhere.
Then before I leave, I will say, have either of you seen Pilter?
No, I lost sight of him. Henning will reply. He was under a table, hiding. But then one of the things broke the table, and I got a little upset and broke the thing.
Okay, that is fair. And from what I know about Pilter, are they the type of person who would like be like, oh, people are hurt, let me go help them? Or one of the people that are a little bit more insulated?
They would attempt. Pilter has served on vessels before. That you know that they are a priest and a cleric, but they're also at their core a medic. And in that concept of a true like battlefield medic, treat what you can see in order, don't get in the way of combat, but at the same time kind of move people out of the way of combat so that there are, less obstacles in the field, but don't make yourself a additional casualty that can cause problems. So Pilter wouldn't run directly into a number of in between two people who are actively fighting, but if there was somebody nearby that he could pull into an out of the way corner to kind of treat, that would be something that he would do. But you do not see him anywhere. You don't even see him injured or his remains anywhere.
Could you repeat that very last, 5 words, please?
You do not see a dead body that would be Pilter anywhere.
Pilter? Okay. Then... Okay. Then I will... As I'm passing by... I don't know where he would be. I'm gonna keep an eye out for Pilter, but now that Henning is Henning is with Enoch, I am going to look for the closest cleric or person that I see that is helping people and inform them that Enoch is very injured and needs some medical attention.
Roll me a D2, because you've got 2 clerics who are still on the field. It's just the question of whether or not you see Javi or Kalfani first.
That's an E, not an R. 2.
You would see Javi at this point kind of still tending to Alexander on the stairwell, and I think that actually makes sense because he's centered in the, focal point of the room. Kalfani is on the other side of the ballroom from where you know, length of the ballroom from you all at the moment. So he would be the first cleric you can see.
Okay. And since he's right next to my rod, I'm going to run over and grab the rod out of the ground and then go over to Javi and just in a lower voice be like, I do not know how much energy you have expended or how much you have left, but someone I came with is very injured, and if you have the energy to assist her, I would really be very appreciative.
Of course.
And I'll wait there patiently as you finish up with your duties to the...
I've got his hunch if you need to go and save someone. I know a few healing magics.
Thank you. I will take my leave, Prince, and I've done all that I can for you at the moment, I believe, unless there's something specific that you are in need of. I'll check on you momentarily.
He shakes his head. He is exhausted. I mean, mechanically speaking, he has 1 hit point, and he's just lying on the ground.
I will, before I depart, I will expend a 2nd level cure wounds. No, prayer of healing.
Prayer of healing takes 10 minutes.
Oh, no, that one takes 10 minutes. You're right. Yeah, so... Sorry, wrong one. Yeah, I guess I'm doing healing word, because I didn't plan on cure wounds for this. So I'll expend one of the a healing word at 2nd level on the Crown Prince, and then follow Tibian to the person.
Ooh, 12 would be now he's at 13. You can see a lot of the cuts and bruises that are otherwise weren't part of reassembling the Imperial meat puzzle start to heal and coalesce. You can see when you get over to Enoch is beat up. very bloody. You can see rips in her dress, claw marks. She did not have a good time before she spent a lot of lightning to fry this dude.
Yeah. I will do the same. Out of conservation of flexibility, I'm going to use one of the charges from my item, from my cloak of the last friend.
What does it look like, Avi, when you use the cloak to cast this spell?
So normally when Javi casts a healing word or things of that nature, the shadows kind of just the natural shadows, nothing nefarious looking, seem to kind of weave into sigils of healing magic and turn silvery like moonlight, and kind of like in a Tinkerbell-esque way fall upon and kind of break into stardust on the person. Something similar happens to the cloak as sigils kind of first in a darker, almost shadow color, kind of weave in and out or move in and out of the woven patterns, and then they turn silvery, and then that energy comes out and kind of cascades over the person. And for 7.
She definitely looks, you can see the cuts and bruises, start to close. There's still a few scar marks, and she moves very slowly, but she is very appreciative of your attention and expresses that.
At this point, I will actually encourage anyone who's been injured to kind of gather around within near the Crown Prince, but within 60 feet, so I can cast Mass Healing Word.
Yes, you will have a large number of people show up.
And that's fine. I will go ahead and expend it at that point.
I'll help to assist anybody who is more injured and having mobility issues to get in range also.
So
Yep.
once that's complete, they'll all get an additional 10 back, including the Crown Prince.
A large number of people will be very appreciative of that. What are our bards doing at the moment? Well, you see this group kind of coalescing around Javi, and this spread of sparkling shadows kind of coalesce around them to start bringing healing.
Just making sure that Agnar is okay at this point. Are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
He kind of looks around, is like, you see him like look at, he nods at you for a moment and then like walks up to one of the pillars that's in the middle of, kind of, not one of the pillars because there's no pillars in this room and I already described that. He walks up to one of the like balustrade next to where his brother is, because he had come across the side of the room, and you can see him nod at you for 30 seconds and then shove his shoulder into it intentionally to kind of like, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Hold a Mel Gibson. Love it.
Mm-hmm. He looks a little battered, but mechanically speaking, he did all right.
Mm-hmm.
He just rolled really well against the grapple, which meant he was okay. And he's got really good dwarven plate armor. What happens when you're basically a soldier for your entire life? And he's like nodding at you and acknowledging you. He's not ignoring you, but he's definitely kind of more directing a lot of the guards at this point.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Oh, it's nothing that seen worse, but the awful thing did take a tear out of my dress. I'm glad that you're fine.
Yes, I'm
I
fine.
think there's a lot to do. I'll see if anyone else needs any help. See what over there.
Ugh.
I think I'll let. Seems like there's a lot to do, and I'll let you You take care of it. If you need any assistance, you know where.
Yeah, in the minute I might ask you to check on my sister.
Theo, I think, sees what's going on over here.
Mhm.
She will float over to the crown, to Alexander.
Alexander kind of looks up at you and goes, "You are actually flying, right?"
Yes, and you've had a close call, Your Highness.
Extremely close. How are you feeling?
Like shit.
You know what they
Okay.
say about a good song. In mind can be a balm for the body, and in certain cases, help with the flesh. And
Not yet. Not yet. Exactly how like shit do you feel? Can you describe it better?
He kind of picks his head up for the moment, where he's like leaning against one of these steps, and he kind of looks at you and goes, "Malik."
Your Highness?
Hand me the bottle, I'll tell you even more.
Got it.
How about you just let me do one trick and then I'll get out of this congregation of concerned individuals. Yes.
Hi,
Sway.
Bandabrus.
Hi. Casting Cure Wounds at 4th level
On whom? Just out of curiosity.
on His Highness.
Oh, he is now, between you and Javi, you can see, like, the cuts and bruises. And he kind of shakes his shoulders and kind of sits up. He goes, "I take that to mean that I'm supposed to get back to work. Alright."
That means you handle all these people that are going to be asking you questions and we have a conversation later. I'm going to go and find your brother.
Which
and
one?
I just walk away. The one taking charge of the guards. You know, the failures that you surround yourself with.
They're not that bad. And he kind of turns and looks at Theo and Malik and goes, "Honestly, he's been that kind of a curmudgeon for years. Give me a hand up."
Push.
He kind of stands up, claps Malik on the shoulder, and I was like, I appreciate your concern. Alright. And he kind of like has that moment where he stands and then starts to begin taking political control of the room. Agnar is taking security control of the room. Alexander is making that PR statement of the king is not dead. Long live the crown prince. He is still upright. He is walking around. He's smiling. He's nodding. He's engaging with people. He is being seen on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
Okay.
And we want to thank, our dear friends, Javi and Theo and Prince Malik and then he will start walking over towards the group of halflings with Tibian and Enoch and Henning, where he'd moved kind of people over to. And he'd go, "And you said somebody is missing. Who's missing?"
I have not seen Pilter since the fight became a disarray.
Alright, we'll start looking. "Agnar! We have a missing halfling!" He starts shouting down the length of the room, and Agnar just kind of like tips his hand and is like, starts pointing to a bunch of people. That would probably be about the point, Bandibus, when you would come up on Agnar.
Hello, Your Highness. I have questions.
So do I.
Where's Kraus?
Sending to my father.
Where are they?
Hopefully in their room. They weren't planning to come.
What's wrong with His Majesty?
he kind of looks around. There's a reason my brother is getting a coronation tomorrow.
I figured, but I kind of need to know the reason, given the, successful assassination attempt on your brother that was just undone by the very hand of Verstru.
And he'll kind of like lean into you and like making sure he nods, he's still panning the room and looking at all of the guards. He leans in and he says, my father has been unwell for many years, you know this. He is no longer himself most of the time. He decided that it was time to let Alexander take control.
Things that can happen with King's Blood.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you, but that's probably because I just had a really loud shrieking in my ear about 6 times.
There's many things that can be done with King's Blood by those that possess the ability to possess.
Honestly, that's on you guys. That's not my field. Give me a sharp, pointy object, point me at a big bad thing, let me stab it repeatedly.
Okay, sharp, pointy object time. I'll give you some questions that will lead us to our sharp and pointy experience. Why the hell was I invited and not the rest of the 5?
They were all invited, as far as I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't run the guest list. That went out of the secretary's office. I just was told that I needed a +1. I said Fio would be my +1 because the last time I had another individual as a +1, and there was perhaps a brawl, and I was told that I had to have a higher class of +1s.
Why the long mirror?
I'm not in charge of... That was Father's choice.
And Krause was okay with it.
I don't know that he wasn't. I wasn't told. I don't live in Vasava, Bandabrus. I don't stay here.
Why do the guards speak Infernal?
2 of them speak Infernal because they're tieflings. We don't judge others in speciesists. We're not speciest here. We'll employ anybody.
Right. Wasn't really looking for horns at the moment. I was just angry. Now then. Those undead were summoned. And there was something that was using the mirror most definitely as a scrying tool.
Well, shit.
Your security here is lax as shit.
I can only tell you 2 things about that. Number 1, I was not in charge. Number 2, someone intentionally removed some people from the guest list. And there was a fight about that. That I heard about.
Ooh.
Apparently, my father's secretary said that all of the Zandari could not be invited because there was, tensions.
I think that move may have very well made tensions worse. And while I have your ear, whatever saber-rattling is between this country and Novigrad, see it end. Otherwise, you're going to get on the bad side.
And he kind of has this look on his face like... And you just see him just kind of like, this progression of like, what's saber-rattling? I didn't order any of that shit. Fuck, now I gotta go find out who the hell is ignoring my orders on the border. Aw, shit, now I gotta go deal with that. Who's making these kind of orders? And he just kind of looks at you and sighs.
Astrid wasn't here for a very good reason, and it wasn't because she was trying to kill your brother.
Considering some other things that are going on over there, I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have either a necromancer, a fiend, or both to try and find. and I have to use magic to make sure that my compatriots have not been assassinated, and possibly smooth things over with Iago before he comes here gallivanting because he heard through the grapevine that there was evil afoot. Bye.
I mean, can you let him come anyways? I haven't had a drink with the man in a few years.
I don't think he's going to be conversational when he gets here, Agna. And I walk away.
I could make it work still! Hey! You! No! Drop it! Get back to work! And you see him kind of like switch to... You can hear across the room. At this point, Vandebrus is going to do something. Anybody else in the ballroom? What are you doing? What are your plans?
I think Theo is going to continue healing people. Song, casting like mass cure wounds, but I think she's gonna see if she can find Tibian.
And in a very similar vein, I was also about to go look for Theo.
Theo's floating. It might not be hard. It might be easier.
I mean, it might be easier for you. You could see down.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm, I'll say, like, I'm gonna go check out the rest of the ballroom to Anik and Henning.
Mhm.
And I go out and I look for a Theo. Let's see which I'm assuming you're still near the Crown Prince, around that area.
Yeah, I think in that where there's that big thing of
That
like
group of
hurt
people?
Yeah, it's a good opportunity, PR opportunity to heal people very visibly.
I want to look up.
Kalfani is also on that same kind of group of, kind of like on the opposite end of that length of the hall from you, working to heal a number of people.
Nice.
He's doing a lot smaller heals. He doesn't look like he's doing any major healing. Possibly because he expended a lot of spell slots, doing fancy stuff.
Valid. I will say, I'm assuming I see you first.
Yeah.
Just due to the nature of what you're doing right now. And I'm going to be like, oh, Theo, it is a relief to see you, okay?
Yeah,
Looking fabulous as always.
Oh, her head will just oh, you're all right. I mean, of course you can take care of yourself, but it's good to. You're not hurt, are you?
I definitely am bleeding, probably like profusely on like my shouldery area. But it is fine. It's just a flesh wound.
Nonsense. And I'll cast level 2 cure wounds on Tibian.
I'll definitely take it. And you see some of those flesh wounds start to close up, although like the claw mark is still there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm no longer bleeding. And I'm like,
some of that will help with the hangover as well. So good to know.
oh, yes. I am so looking forward to taking one of these wine bottles as I look around to see if any of the tables with the wine are still okay.
I'm sure they won't miss it. Or we can convince them if they don't. The good stuff.
Exactly.
We did. Look what we did here. Also, they couldn't have waited until the boring part was over or until after the fun couple hours when everyone's a little drunk.
That is what I'm saying. It was right at the beginning. I was barely getting into a good conversation at the poker tables.
Oh, who was at the poker table?
I was sitting. I was Han. You remember Han?
Yes,
Han and Shui. They were dealing, and then I had just met. Yes, and then I met this prince. Oh, you might know them. Their name is Malik. Imsali.
Look, just like a darkness comes over her face. Like, I'm aware.
Oh, is there a story there? One I have not heard yet.
I think you know most of it, but just right off the bat, just started sniping at me, and I'm trying to concentrate and do work. I don't know what his deal is. It's probably that same thing.
Oh, I see. I see. Oh, that is very interesting. You don't mind though if I speak to them.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely, you can. Also, might make his mood improve. You know, the whole. It's been like that ever since I've known him and his brothers. Just sulky. You know,
I see. Oh,
really
yes,
taking to that passed over second brother sort of thing, right?
Being a middle child is difficult. I would know. But yeah, I make things more lively when I'm around. I'll see if I can make their acquaintance. And that's more than I have already.
Everyone you came in with it's okay. Everyone accounted for.
Henning and Enoch are more or less okay, but we cannot find Pilter. I have I would think you'd be here with you and them healing. No, I have Henning said that they saw them hiding under a table, and then the table got destroyed, and then everything went awry, and we don't know where he is.
Well, I mean,
they are. He is.
If you need help finding them, I'd be good to find.
Absolutely.
Get all that stuff done. There's people that
I was really hoping they'd just pop up. I mean, he is small, but it's not that small.
Of course, maybe just waiting until the coast is clear, that sort of thing. But considering the amount of undead that were here,
it is
make sure.
Concerning.
Considering what happened to the Emperor now, yes.
The soon to be, yes. I'm glad that that cleric was able to help them. I saw them. Also, do you know the wizard, the one that was yelling earlier?
I mean, I saw him help out with defending the defending Agnar, but I don't know. Seemed like something was on his mind, all work types.
But yeah, very angry, very angry.
I assume it's because of the undead, but yeah, well, I won't fault him.
Well, he was angry even before. He was yelling at this guard about speaking Infernal.
Oh, was that was him?
Yes, that was him. That was them. All I'm saying is, I don't know what was up with him. That's definitely something we should keep in mind, I guess.
Yes.
I personally have not made his acquaintance. I actually was interested in meeting them today. The hat caught my attention.
You know me, trying to keep out of wizard circles and those sort of things.
Oh, fair enough. Well, you know what? I might go say hello. I might just go introduce myself to this angry man. I think I saw him with your date.
Oh, well, why don't we go? Hopefully he hasn't turned him into anything in his anger, wizards. Also, if you want the, unless I'm too exhausted, the portable mansion should still be open. And you know what? If you want to relax afterwards and get things mended, that sort of thing, more than happy.
Absolutely.
Also, the added some new things. There should be some drinks there. Some new ones that I've added. So
you are a lifesaver. It's always my favorite.
I mean, despite everything that's happened here, but it is good to see you. It's
yes, I was sad I wasn't able to go say hello before all of this happened.
You know how it is. It's all business greeting. If you don't greet everyone, they take it personally. You got to do the whole waving. Oh, how are you? Sort of thing going on.
Politics. I was so glad I brought 3 over, and I'm assuming we're walking towards Bandiverse as we're having this conversation. Yeah. It's during this conversation, I was happy Enoch and Henning and Pilter were here because that meant I didn't have to say hello to everybody, aside from the people I'm friendly with.
Of course, it's not necessarily my speed to do the whole political thing, so more than happy with letting Agnar take a lot of it.
Speaking of, well, there goes Agnar, and here's the wizard. Have you already spoken to the prince, or are we good to detour and talk to Bandabros? The wizard. I don't know his name. The wizard. And I guess we walk up to
Yeah.
Bandabros.
Yeah.
Yes, how can I help you?
Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Tibian.
yes. Sorry about the ring in the ears. You were close. You know,
I-
gotta get rid of the
y-
threat, and then sorry about the ringing. If you can still hear, you can still hear, right?
I'm used to combat, but it's not my first thing. Excuse me. Hi, I'm Vantabris the Grey. I don't know either of you.
Oh, Fiorella Barrelember.
Oh, you're the one my erstwhile apprentice is always going.
Always enjoy the adoration of fans and that sort of thing. Good taste. Might say so.
You may. And as for you, good lady,
I am Tivian Ventunen. I am here as part of the Council of Sakel.
see. So, how may I be of service?
Well, I was going to go speak to you earlier. One of the times you were yelling. The first time, I think. You had gone up to a guard and were just yelling at them, and I believe Infernal?
It started in Infernal, then switched to Abyssal because I was suspecting that something terrible was about to happen. I was right, just not the way I thought.
What were you so angry about? What tipped you off, I guess? Because you were angry before everyone else became angry.
You really don't know a good deal about the Empire, then.
I am a Council of Sakel. We do most of our business with Tanari.
But I figure since your council likes to prey upon ships coming from the Empire, you know a great deal about them.
He's a
I make
charmer.
use of. We make use of the resources around us. That's a very important distinction, good sir.
I'm sorry. I've been spending a good deal of time with the elves, and while they have many words for many things, I find that spending my time with them when I'm speaking common again, I tend to speak very bluntly.
That is one way to put it. But that still does not answer my question. What tipped you off about all of this?
I am one of the 5 Watchers. I spent my time before I left this nation fighting the Inferno.
Oh, is that the with Darius and oh, I forget their name at this moment. It escapes me.
Yes,
But them, yes.
I
Yes, I know
In
them.
the depictions, I'm usually shown just with the hat, no face, and the beard is much grayer.
Oh,
but yes.
you are in books?
Oh, you. Oh, the hat. The hat should have been.
I've read
Love
it in
that.
letters. I've not read anything. Oh yes, that is very impressive. I can't believe.
I usually
Wow.
get omitted because they really like to talk about Darius and his dalliances, but
Oh,
that's
those are
neither here
exciting.
nor
Those are
there.
great.
The hat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. No, I do know you kind of.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right. They
The hat.
They put the stars on
Yes,
as an
yes, yes, yes.
embellishment. I wouldn't have recognized it otherwise. Oh yes.
Very, very honestly, very impressive. Darius said good things about you, from what I remember.
Is Darius alive?
Oh, I don't know. I last letter I received was 3 months ago.
Excuse me for a second. Casting sending
Okay.
to Darius. You alive? In trouble? Need help? Many undead? I'm in Visava. Assassination foiled. Inform Asfred. Bring as much help as you can. This sucks.
There's a long pause. You know the spell went through. You would know if the spell failed. It does not fail. There's a long pause. And a longer pause. And then mm-hmm.
Right. I believe the term is he is getting his wick wet. Got it.
Well,
He's alive.
And that's good
Good.
to know.
Good. So having more fun than youth, then I suppose.
Much.
I don't know. Maybe you should take. I don't know. I've met some very wonderful people here. Maybe I can introduce you.
Really
You seem a little
close.
stressed,
Yes, you
angry.
all of that. Do you want a drink?
I was literally driven out of this country for saving it. I am allowed my resentment, thank you.
Yes, but not the stress that ages you. I mean, look at your poor face already.
I know. I live with the elves. My apprentice is 100.
Then you should know not to carry so much stress. Live a little, be a little,
If you
enjoy
excuse
life.
me, I need to go for a walk. And he just walks away from the two of you.
Wizard.
Just like that, see, you have him listening to the elf. As
No
you
wonder
walk
it's
away.
just the hat.
Yes, I understand a lot more now.
Avi, what are you doing?
Javi is after checking on those who were were injured, and then noting that there were other casters about. Javi finds a table that's still functional and kind of sets it upright and starts to put out a variety of foods and such. Combat and stress sometimes need comfort food. So, yeah, he's kind of putting out a bunch of food on the table, things that are around there. And if there isn't much around because it was mostly champagne and party stuff, he'll actually use his bag of bounty and try and put out a high quality meal, which will take a roll to make sure that I don't screw that up.
Yes, please roll for your high quality meal. You can add +2 to the total of this roll based on your previous religion roll.
Okay, excellent. I just need to find the roll again. If it's just a straight d20 or if it's a skill check, I can't remember.
I think it's a skill check.
Charisma check.
Charisma, yeah.
Okay, so charisma +2. Just backslash that. Whoops, if I actually did it correctly, which I did not. But I rolled a 19, so it should have been +3. So that's a 22. So that will succeed.
Yep.
In a very high quality meal. So
there is a large number of people who will start to come and take advantage of this. The guards start coming.
Aristocratic level meal. So
yes,
fitting
fancy.
for the setting.
Fitting for the setting. Looks wonderful. A number of the guards kind of like
Yes, you can eat too.
walk and swipe.
Yeah.
As they come by.
If any of them are like looking at it, but didn't like actually make their way over, I'll actually take them food. Any of the guards, if they're kind of looking but standing at a certain post.
Luckily, no. These are all career military individuals. There's free
Okay.
food on the offer.
Gotcha. Good.
They might be making it look like they're professionals with the walk-in swipe and not just like, you know, descending upon it, but they are coming through. A number of other people kind of are coming through and working as well. Could you please, sir, as you're kind of tending to everyone, roll me a perception check. You notice as you're kind of scanning everyone and tending to people and tending to them in a both physical, you know, tending to their hurts, but also tending to their, you know, care. You notice a number of people are missing.
Okay. Like more than what I saw ushered out, because I was mostly on the end with the stairs.
Yes, you saw a large number of people. You saw a large number of the dignitaries ushered out, but there are people missing who you didn't see leave, and you don't see any dead bodies. Well, that's not true. You see a number of dead guards. You don't see any dead guests.
But there are painfully, I'm painfully aware that there are missing guests. Okay.
You're not 100% sure of how many, because you would have to go and see who was in the other rooms, to account for that. But you know that you have a good idea of who was here before everything went wrong. You have a rough idea of the number of people who went by you as you kind of were at the end where the exits were. And you know that those two numbers are not matching up.
Okay. I will make note of that and try and find an opportune time to alert. Who would I think would be the right person to alert? I'm not the major like mover and shaker in political social circles.
But you have attended you've been to court before, so you are at least known to the members of the royal family.
Correct.
And most of the major bodyguards have, again, you would need to know who's in the other room to know who's missing.
True. I will ask one of the guards that passes by if they can find someone and do a head count, because it seems like a number of folks are missing. Like the numbers are just extremely low by comparison.
You kind of grab one of the younger guards, as he's doing a walk and swipe.
Yeah.
And he kind of like has got half a sandwich in his mouth, and he looks at you like wide-eyed, swallows, nods, and then makes a slightly shuffle speed walk to the door, towards where the other guests were taken out.
Okay. As I kind of like confronted him, I would have also been like handing him other food.
So he's got like an armful, a sandwich in his mouth, wide-eyed, and shuffling quickly to the door.
Gotcha.
As in I'm gonna go find someone higher in authority, and also tell important people in the other room that maybe it's just people are in the other room and that's what's wrong.
And that could be it too, but it feels off. So if you don't mind checking, thank you.
Kind of nods as he hurries out. Malik, what are you doing?
Well, I'm sitting with the prince, and I got him a drink as was requested, and now I'm hoping that he will tell me about his experience. But before I do that, I would like to cast Minor Illusion and recreate the symbol that was made out of his entrails. I'm going to make it out of black smoke. I'm not going to show him his own entrails this time. And I'd like to recreate the symbol out of black smoke. And be like, does this have any significance to you?
He kind of cracks an eye. And he kind of shapes it with his finger. He goes, looks like a 7-pointed star. Kind of.
Do I know the significance of a 7-pointed star?
You could roll me history.
Okay. Ooh.
It is a symbol that you've seen before. Definitely seen it more on things in southern Varoom. You know that there's a group that seems to be using this. You're not 100% sure why.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen a number of perhaps esoteric things that you found on a couple of your excursions, shall we say. You know, the excursions that were encouraged by a friend.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this doesn't mean anything specific to you, then, other than...
No.
That's probably for the best. It's not anything important. And dismiss the smoke.
You're asking me if I saw that, that means it is important. And
No.
now...
It's something that I'll explain the significance of later, but first I'm just so interested to tell me about your experience.
Fighting bone things.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, very... You've been stabbed before?
Yes, why?
Picture that multiple times and then pulling. And then snapping. And
Okay.
then waking up on the ground.
Right. And do you have any other recollections during the stabbing? And if you concentrate real hard on the stabbing, do you have any other recollections about things you might have seen or heard while they were ripping out your entrails?
Nope. Really fast.
That fast, huh?
Yeah. Pain,
Alright.
stabbing, pulling, done.
Okay. I guess that's all I can ask of you, really. Can't get water from a stone, as it were. There's nothing more to remember. You feeling okay afterwards?
I'd rather not be on performance duty, but here we are.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand completely. So, is there some place that I can bring you that would be more restful than all of this?
Not a proposition, Malik.
No, sire, you're not my type.
Uh, well, I know it wasn't a joke. No, I have to be seen. Maybe you can send a word to see about my sister and Arnfinn.
I'll see about those two. In the meantime, he'll just like motion a guard over to watch over. And he'll go see about the sister.
Ooh. So while Malik and this guard run off to the other room, this is where we're going to take the break for the evening. Stretch, refresh yourselves, get a snack, and we'll be back in a few minutes to see what else is going on. All the fun things are happening. Bye-bye, everybody. Hello, everyone! Welcome back. We hope you're refreshed, that you stretched, you did all of those good things, and you're ready for part 2 of A Song of Agapia's Fortune as we deep dive back into this other side ballroom, with the local nobility and the kind of guests, dignitaries separated out on the opposite sides of the ballroom so that they could be protected but still separate. Thorn, where are you stationed at this point?
So, like I said, I think not wanting to be right up close to some of these nobles and potentially anyone who might see through his disguise, I would assume this room, with the idea that bad guys were back through that door in the main ballroom, that there's some sort of an arrangement of phalanx or some types of guards who are preparing just in case this the battle in the other room is lost and this room might be next, especially since this has so many critical folks in it. Not necessarily at the very front of that, but sort of intermingled with that, but also with able to have an eye, on the both the local nobility, the dukes and the duchesses, and the visiting nobility from elsewhere. Just to be clear, have the royal family, the imperial family, been taken to a true safe room, so they are completely out of sight, and not in this same room where these other folks were?
Arnora, Yelena, Arnfin, none of them are in this space.
Okay.
The Emperor never came to the party, so wherever he is, you're assuming he's in lockdown under guard. But yes, the princess, the third prince, the princess, and Yelena, the Dean of Enchantment at the Academy of Magic, are all somewhere else, not in this space.
Yeah, specifically the Dean of Magic would not be wanting to get anywhere near any of that. So Thorn pretty much is just kind of an eyes and ears open, but also knowing that these were sort of invisible undead, sort of keeping his divine senses peeled in case something is trying to, as this was obviously some sort of an assassination attempt. At this point, he wouldn't know who, but certainly this was meant to kill some or lots of people who were all in the same place at the same time. Be keeping an eye out for anything that might be sneakily attempting to, again, still lots of big names in small places.
Yep. As you heard the first whispered conversation that Alexander had been injured. He's all right now. He'd been tended to by a cleric. He's taking command. Agnar was only mildly wounded. They both seem to be controlling the space in the ballroom. The fighting has stopped. That message had come to you already. You'd heard that.
Okay.
You see again, Duke Brant is pacing, and at this point, you would see a very young guard kind of carrying a bunch of food and with half a sandwich in his mouth, kind of peek his head in, take the sandwich out and hide it behind his back, but he's still got
good luck with that, young guard, as the rest of the guard and more senior guards see you with food.
He goes, he kind of looks to see who's in charge and kind of sidles over to them and whispers, and mostly whispers quietly. Unfortunately, he was one of the guards who was hanging out with Agnar, so Theo was a little loud right in his ear. So his understanding of quietly is a little disproportionate, but mostly still quiet. He kind of offers like the pile of sandwiches that he's carrying, not the one he was eating, but the rest that he was holding in his hands that Javi gave him, and whispers, the priest of Vestru said that people were missing. We're supposed to get a head count, I think. And he kind of like offers out like the pile of food to who's ever in charge in this room.
Interesting. Golly, do I want to risk it? I only see the people that I see that we talked about before. I don't see anyone obviously of wizard robes or wizardry, magecraftery lurking amongst them.
Nope.
Thorn volunteers. I can go check to see if the rest of the nobility, if the retinues are accounted for.
The lieutenant takes one look at you, nods, and like hands you half a sandwich. Like,
I'm vegetarian, and
yes. And you hear coming back, "We have lamb."
And so Thorn will head up first to the young Duchess Sandrine.
Okay.
Pardon the intrusion.
Yes, of
Is
course.
your retinue all accounted for? There's been some question of whether there are people still missing amongst the guests.
Oh, yes, of course. One moment, please. My apologies. You kind of see her start looking around and counting. It's like, we are all here. It is correct.
Thank you so much. Are you quite okay? There are clerics about, and there was a bard who could maybe calm your nerves.
I have some tea. I'm thank you. And like this is the moment where like Kenneth's pacing pattern, that he kind of comes within reaching distance, and she kind of reaches out, like, my dear, everyone is accounted for. Yes, they are checking for everything. And she kind of like, she's still seated, and she's kind of like looking up at him and then looking at you, and kind of like giving the impression that you're asking this question, and therefore you have information, which then leads to Kenneth to hyper focus on you. Yes. And being like, all right, what's going on? What do we know? Who's in charge? I need to know what these things are going on.
Agnar is in charge in the other room. Alexander fought nobly and was suffered minor injury. There are clerics and bards calming guests and healing wounds. If anyone needs any attention, apparently there's food that has been served. That's all I know of. And he totally doesn't say the things to make like he's a guard who doesn't know what he's doing, like know all of the formalities, even though he does.
Can I get a deception check?
You sure can.
I feel like this is a deception.
Golly, that I'm gonna use one of the things, because I got a +10 in deception, and a 16 is kind of crappy for me.
I mean, yes, I can see that.
Well, look at that, a 17. Dice talking.
Dice, he kind of like nods imperiously along with you. There's this moment where he kind of is looking at you, and you can get the impression that he knows you're hiding something, but he definitely thinks right now it's the I'm not telling you because operational security rather than
Yeah,
you're
I'm not allowed
actively
to.
lying to him.
Yeah.
Which is a very, and he kind of like gives you that look, and then he kind of like nods. It's like, yes.
I don't think there's any danger if you want to return to where the Crown Prince and Prince Agnar are, I think.
And then at this, Sandrine will interject. She goes, "Oh no, you can't leave. You have to stay. You please, my dear, do not do this. You have to stay with us here." And she is very visibly and starts panicking, upset at that.
Inside check.
Go ahead. Wait, what is your passive insight?
My passive insight is pretty darn good. My passive insight is an 18.
Yes, you need to roll, please.
That would be a 20.
There's something off about her panic.
Is there any fey or fiendish or celestial thing involved with her panic? Because then I would have advantage and it'd be a 26.
Fey, fiend, celestial? No.
Okay, just checking.
No. There's just something artificial about her panic.
Gotcha. Golly, I really want to cast a something with my one last spell slot, but I'm not gonna, because I thinking casting a spell in front of all these people would not be a good idea. So, and I don't have like all those fun subtly casty things that other folk do. So, he will move on, having not going to press his welcome and move around to the other guests to let them know, just check about their retinues.
We'll come back to that in a moment, because at this point it would be when Malik would enter the space, and you could see as you come in, Malik, the like local high-level nobility are kind of clustered to one end of this smaller ballroom. There's a large fireplace in the middle, but then there are a bunch of chairs on one end, and then the foreign dignitaries and foreign guests are on the other end. There are guards on either space, and you see a couple guards kind of moving throughout the room, kind of doing what looks to be a check. It's not even, counting people and verifying.
Mm-hmm. Do I see an aura anywhere?
She's not in here.
Okay. I'll turn to the nearest set of people that appear to be nobility. Have you seen Honora, Princess Honora?
That would probably be your friend from the poker game. Yes, it would probably be him. Sidoris. Sidors. And he kind of looks and he goes, no, Honora and Arfin were escorted to, probably His Imperial Majesty. Get them away from us, possible death threats. So anybody die?
Not permanently. Where did you say they probably went?
Lockdown. If you can get through the door, good luck.
Well, I can certainly try. Now, where is it?
He kind of nods towards one end of the ballroom where...
Now, why don't you take me?
Okay. He kind of will stand up and would walk through, and Thorn, you would see this very striking half-elf. Walk by you. And in the company of Duke Sidors, the Duke of the West, towards one end of the ballroom.
No. Yep. Sorry. And that's where I would have seen the royal family have gone.
Yes.
I watch to see if they get through the door. I'm still just a guard, so I'm not gonna. I don't have much. I don't have a
There
whole
are
lot of
2
horsepower.
guards currently on either side of the door, so a total of 4 guards on the door. Thorn, by this point, you would have found that that there are 2 people from Duke Lucas's retinue that are missing.
The north.
There is 1 person who yeah, there's no one Sandrine says that there's no one missing from the east. You didn't talk to Sidor, so you don't know, but you know that there's at least 2 people from the retinue of Duke Lucas Kovru, and there is Nusair seems to be looking anxiously around for someone.
Gotcha.
And he would say that aside from his brother Malik, there are 3 people missing from the Tenerique.
Gotcha.
Malik, as you approach this door with Sidor's, he'll kind of like bring you up and then step back more in a let me see what you can do kind of way.
How many guards are at this door? 2, you said?
4 total, 2 on each side.
4, okay.
The 2 standing directly on either side of the door both have large pole arms. Their partners both have large sword and board.
Okay. I'm Prince Malik of Tenerique. I need you to move aside so that I can check and make sure that the royal family is okay by order of Prince Alexander. He's personally asked me to come through and check on their well-being.
They don't blink at you, and I need you to roll a persuasion.
Okay.
Because you don't currently have anything that says you're coming from the prince.
That's true.
And you just rolled up on this. 22? Let's see how they do. 23. The guard to the right looks at you and goes, I understand, Your Highness, but without some form of written authorization, you're not getting through that door.
He's injured, and you want me to ask him to sign something so that you can move away from the door so that I can check and make sure that his siblings have not been harmed? Did you
Yes.
just see what happened in the ballroom?
Uh-huh. And I appreciate your concern, but no one else is getting through this door.
Who's around us currently?
Sidor's who's watching this. You have the 2 other, 3 other guards who are part of this doorway. They've kind of they've tried to leave a group, like, the guards who are guarding these 2 groups of people, tried to leave a space in front of this door to try and, line of sight. The royal family's in lockdown. They want extra space here. I think the closest person would be Thorn at this point.
Okay, cool.
But that would be it. Aside from these 4 guards.
All right. In that case, I'd like to cast command at a 4th level.
Wow.
And tell them to move.
Ooh. Of all of this, to see something really important, because it is a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save, yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
Man.
That's not one they have. Not great. The 21?
Oh,
Damn, yeah,
no.
that beats me.
Oof.
Oh no.
They rolled really well.
Yeah. All right.
Fun fact, do they know there've been I have to check
Cast
the
out.
wording of the spell. They've been cast out. They know that they've been cast out, right?
They
Oh, no.
know.
I believe so.
At least it's not friends. At least
The
it's not
GM
that.
determines how the target behaves. If
Yeah.
the target can't follow your command, the spell ends.
Yeah, that's but it doesn't say target must succeed
It
on its
does-
or follow on its next turn. Spell has no effect on the undead if it doesn't understand your language or the command is directly harmful.
There's
Yeah,
something
I
about
don't-
that.
They kind of will look at you like no, and you see the two guards with pole arms shift to now pointing those pole arms at you.
I'd
Your
love
Highness.
to come in this moment. If I may.
Come on in, buddy.
Oh yeah, now this
The
is
water's
going to be a
fine.
drama. Come on in. Your Highness, I appreciate your concern. Not.
I don't think all of this hostility is absolutely necessary, everyone. If I may.
The two guards with pole arms are not looking away from Malik at this point. But the other
Thorn's eating popcorn.
one of the guard to the right of the door with the sword is now going to turn to look at you, Bandibus.
Yes, hi. Bandibus the Grey here. I'm here to see Yelena and make sure she's all right.
They're not letting anyone through.
I'm not necessarily asking to go in. I'm asking them to send a message when she comes out. If you don't mind.
Not until we get an all clear.
I see. The same way that you guys have protected the family so well, and that if it wasn't for Javier, the priest of Vestru, you probably all would be sacked right now.
Probably. But until I get orders otherwise, no one gets through this door.
You remember the last tale about me? You know, the one that the royal family didn't like, because I found an infernal within the court?
I was
And-
12, and I appreciate your help and concern in that, sir, but I'm on the job, and I'm not letting anyone in.
And I'm telling you right now, because Krause is an idiot, and that there has been meddling by the secretary of His Majesty, that the people in that room are not safe, and let the Admiral get a message to the Dean of Enchantment, please. Otherwise, I am going to make certain that you have an extended vacation into Lord Iago's personal punching bags.
Ooh, roll a persuasion, and I will give you advantage for that beautiful point about throwing him at Iago, and Malik's help from this previous thing. Because I like that
Yes.
line.
Persuasion, you say?
Yes.
18.
Let us see how that goes. Because he has one thing that he does well. 21.
God.
He has one thing that he does well. He looks at you. You're not getting through. You want to send a message? Write it down.
I see why the elves hate you all. And as my eyes glow, and I'm casting sending right in front of them. If they strike me, I'm going to make this an international incident. Please.
I mean, you're already.
Okay, look, I would like to point out all of you who are just doing, like, this is coming up on the Secret Service after there's been an assault on the president and being like, hi, I want in that room.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I might as well be named Jack Bauer at this point. Um,
And Jack Bauer didn't get in the room either. But
so
he does not He's got, well, with the 21, I'm going to say he's cool enough head that they're maintaining you, but they're watching you. And until you make a threatening move towards the door, they're not going to attack you. Casting Sending is not going to cause them to just attack you. They live in Vasava. They've seen a lot of magic.
Casting Sending to Elena. Elena, the incompetent guards aren't going to let a message through, so could you please come out? Need to make certain that the other royals are safe as per Agnar and Alexander's instruction, and the guards are definitely incompetent. I need your social skills, please.
This is why I should write all of your material. And at that, within 3 seconds, Yelena enters the room. She's dressed. The door opens from the inside. The two guards with the swords, one of whom has been focused on you, turns and immediately focuses on inside the door because, yes, it could be the protectees or the guards on the inside of the room responding, but it could also be something else. So they're immediately switching to focus, and they're on their point. They turn to you, and Yelena in very long, beautiful dress, on par with her normal standard of attire, but just slightly nicer looking. Just a little bit nicer. Court dress. She comes out, looks at both Bandabras and Malik, kind of scans the room, stops, turns, focuses, cocks her head, and raises an eyebrow. It's something over your shoulder, Bandabras.
Ah, shit.
Well, I haven't been using the sight for a moment because I thought, the gods were better. Turns around. So much incompetence in this movie. And I'm going to flick the book open.
Oh. Yelena, when she sees you do that, there's this moment of like a side whisper. She goes, "It's very nice to see you, my dear." As she's dressing the book.
We're going to have the light. In case there's anything invisible, it becomes visible.
Nothing is invisible.
Okay. Then I'm following where her gaze went.
You see one of the guards moving across the room.
Do I spot her looking? Actually, yeah, no, I'm not going to get weird about it. Because if I'm dead to rights, I'm smart enough not to. That's a quick way to get hit with like nastiness from the people who are in this room. So,
I mean, does she make it obvious where she's looking?
Yes, she's making it obviously where she's looking.
All right. I'm just glad that you're safe. I'm guessing that the other two are safe.
Yes, I'm. And you. And she kind of snaps her fingers at Bandabros and like cleans up all of the blood that was on him and is like, "We have prestidigitation for that."
I was getting around to it.
That might be why they weren't letting you inside, dear.
No, but I'm certain Tweedle, Dumb, Dimmer, and Fuck All are going to meet with Iago later. It's going to be great.
I'm pleased that you're happy, sir.
Oh no, you haven't seen me happy yet. When the halberd hits you, then you'll see me happy.
There's a long, just service employee smile. That's it. That's all he gives you.
Oh, I like this guy.
And then I just waltz straight towards where Yelena's gaze was. Book still open.
Mm-hmm. Nothing is invisible.
Cool. And then I'm going to, as I'm walking, cast Detect Magic.
Oh shit! I light up.
Remind me again, what is the sphere of detect magic? 10 feet?
I think it's larger than 10 feet. But I'm not
It
entirely certain.
is.
I think it's 30 or 60. I mean, it's pretty big. 'Cause
I
you
think
can do
it's
like
60.
you can get
I
like
think it's
kind of like a
30.
room.
Well,
all
no,
at
it's one of
once.
those, it's 30 feet, but the casting is within.
Well, it's well beyond
Yeah.
my eyes.
Yes, yes. You see a shit ton of magic within 30 feet of you.
Okay.
First of all, you're going to see a disguise spell on one of the guards kind of quasi off to your left.
Uh-huh.
Totally not suspicious.
Totally not suspicious at all. There's a a number of the nobles here are wearing glamours.
Oh, how gauche.
However, you also see a wonder. I need to double check this spell, and it's you see a very strong enchantment spell on Duke Kenneth Brandt.
I just put a hand on phone.
Mhm.
Don't move. We'll talk later. And then I'm going to cast Dispel Magic at 7th level on the Duke.
Ooh,
Wham!
I need you to make me a roll, please.
Wow.
It's
Oof.
higher than 7th level.
Damn.
Dookie dookie.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. That tells me a lot.
Sorry.
That tells me a whole heck of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Tells Brenda Vanderbros a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
25.
Oh yes, that breaks. You see it shatter. And there's kind of a blinking and a sway. And he kind of looks around and then collapses.
Huh.
And Sandrine starts screaming, wailing, flying over her husband. Oh my god, what has happened?
I
Somebody fetch
dispelled
him.
a heavy enchantment on him that I'm guessing you know something about, good madam.
What? What do you mean? I do not understand. What is going on? Who are
Insight
you?
check.
Roll.
Actually,
that-
I'd want to insight check as well, as I've been sort of watching this whole thing, and she's certainly caught my eye.
My
Should I
passive
also-
insight's of 24.
Yes, I understand. Passive insight is a 24. Insight check from Thorn. Malik, what's going on?
I roll a 24.
I have an passive insight of 24. Can I use that?
Yeah. Well, she's gonna make a roll.
24 is across the board. Damn it.
I would like to roll using luck.
Yeah,
Yours or the party's?
Mine.
Well, there you go.
I'll let the party have theirs.
No, we might need this.
33.
Hell yeah.
Eat me.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I mean, watch out. I mean,
she is good. She is really, really good, but she is
Full of shit.
fake. Those tears are fake. The panic is fake. You can see in the slight movements where she's not recasting, she's not doing anything like that, but you can definitely see her gauging the room, gauging everyone else, gauging you, gauging the performance that she's giving on to other people and whether or not they believe her.
I'm not entirely certain you're of this plane of existence right now, but I happen to have fought Rakshasas far better than you.
What What are you saying? How dare you?
How dare I? Yes, I dare. I'm the one who fought the Infernal, and you enchanted your husband? Was that before or after the nuptials?
It was my husband, and
As-
we are married, and
And
I
I'm
do not know what
getting
you're
closer.
saying.
I'm just going to be thorough. Banishment at 5th level.
I would like to remind people at home that
Simultaneously,
yes.
again, my last spell slot, the one I've been holding, just because it's got a lovely little kicker on it
Yes.
about folks who are shapeshifted.
Yep.
I cast Moonbeam right over top of her.
Well,
Which, if she is a creature that is shapeshifted, she falls out of her. Let me see. Let me make sure I know how this, exactly how this reads.
okay, so she needs to
A
survive.
shape changers must make a saving throw with disadvantage.
Which must make a saving throw with disadvantage. Constitution saving throw. So first, I'm going to do this in order, so it just makes sense.
Yep.
I'm going to do the Constitution saving throw and then do the Banishment
which
saving
will
throw
be
with
DC 20.
DC 20, and then what is the DC for the con save? What is your
The
spell?
DC for the con save is 18.
Okay. Okay, so the con save is not as good. Not great. But she doesn't make it a disadvantage, so that's a 23.
She's got, yeah, okay.
She's not shapeshifted, which you would therefore know, but she's gonna take half of the 2d10 radiant damage that you just dealt her. Half of 15 is 7, so she's gonna you just dealt her 7.
A little, yeah. Just a little.
She's a little sizzling, and now she's going to make a wisdom saving throw against banishment, right?
Yep.
Oh, charisma saving throw.
Against banishment DC 20.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
I can hope for one.
Down.
Big
Oh my
charisma.
god.
Oh, 30.
Holy.
Oh, you're one of those.
Jeez. Oh, you're one of those. You know, the hat, it does nothing for you. You should really.
You know, I
Perhaps.
could use a hand! Yes, I just hollered.
Well, this party was a dull, anyways. I'll see you soon. A bientôt.
And before
she-
she bolts,
Uh-huh.
I would like to know what Malik's going to do.
I would like to. Oh God, I'm panicking. I would like to try to cast command at a 2nd level. I tell her, sit down.
Command is wisdom
Wisdom.
save. Not quite as high. Not quite as high. But she still got that one.
Motherfucker.
Yeah,
I'm rolling
natural
really well.
19.
Wow.
I'm rolling really well here, y'all.
yeah.
I got nothing.
You just went
Is she going to try and teleport out?
She blows a kiss at Thorn and winks, and then is going to teleport out. Yes.
I'm going to counterspell that.
Okay. Do you have a spell slot, or are you?
Oh, yeah.
You have to roll for it. Oh no, you're going to roll for.
I'll roll for it. Let's go.
Well, I mean, I'm just double checking.
I have a 3rd level spell slot. Let's go.
Yeah, you're not upcasting it. You're doing it at,
No.
at 3rd.
Yeah, you're. That's what I was saying that that was my question. You are going to have to roll for it
Oh, okay. That's fine.
because she's literally casting teleport, which is a 7th level spell. So
Yeah.
then
So-
you would know
but
that.
But yeah, you've got all that stuff because of you.
22.
And you kind of see as she kind of like blows a kiss and winks and then goes to swish her hand and just
Get that amateur shit out of my way.
oh, you're very disconcerting and I don't like you.
I'm an amateur. No one likes me. Guards, could you put her in cuffs, please?
And a number of guards are converging on this. However, I do need small, itty bitty, teeny tiny thing from as she kind of, you are all such children. And she will snap her fingers again, and unfortunately for the guards that were coming at her, you see large numbers of smoky tendrils start to rise from the ground.
She's casting again? How?
What? You said you counterspelled her teleport. You didn't
Teleport, yeah.
You didn't counterspell her next spell. She still has
Is she
fun.
using a bonus action, or is
Oh,
this
we
a
advance
sorcerer?
to the next round.
Oh, if we advance to the next round, counterspell again. I've got a fourth.
Or I mean, yeah, I'm asking the question. I didn't know.
Yeah,
we
we
advance to the next round.
Yeah, we were advancing in narrative. Yes.
Yes.
So-
Great.
Counterspell again. I'll use my last fourth.
You're gonna need to. Ooh, no, this one will go away immediately, but you can see where it would have been not a good thing for the unfortunate guards who are converging on her. I hate wizards like you. Give everyone a bad name.
You are a bad name.
I at least look good. You look like a piece of shit.
Oh my god.
I would have activated my shield and done my relentless
Okay,
pursuit to
go ahead.
get to her.
Please get to her. I
don't
love
know
all
how
of
far
this.
away I am, but I mean that gives
Yeah,
me 90
you're-
feet.
You would be within movement of her. Yeah.
So I'm assuming it takes all my movement, though I don't have an action this turn.
You would take no. It would take your movement to get within her. This is not as big a space, right?
Oh, okay. So, my movement and bonus, or just my movement to get to her.
Just your movement to get to her.
Ooh, okay. I am going to swing, make an attack with Reap, but I'm not wanting to hit her. I want to cut off the what I saw on her Clossier, on her Chanteline. I want to cut off that coat of arms, those keys.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm using my sickle, nice and curved, to whoosh.
Targeted. Okay. I'm gonna give it a
So
slightly. It's not gonna be her AC because you're doing a called shot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give her a bonus. Give the item a bonus because of that.
Okay. So I might use one of those things, folks, in case this goes badly. But come on, baby. Do the thing, do the thing, do the thing. 12, I'm gonna try one of the lucks from our pool. Come on, Reap. You did so well in the battle that didn't matter, like in my session 0. 16.
16.
I mean, theoretically, I have 2 attacks because I have extra
I would say
attack.
that the first one isn't gonna work because that's her AC.
Yeah.
So, no. I'm gonna give the item a +3 because it's an item.
Gotcha. No, it makes, again, it's a small thing. So can I take my second attack, or am
You
I
can
out?
you can take your second attack. You have 2 attacks.
Yeah. So I will give it another shot. I don't want to be the guy who plays the dice. 18? You said a +3.
You
so
will
I'm-
you
No,
will definitely
just
cut.
miss.
You'll just miss.
Mrr.
But now,
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I won't burn another one. That's getting to let the dice tell the story.
you spent your reaction. Malik, what are you doing?
I would like to cast fear
Ooh,
on this woman.
charisma saving throw.
No, it's a wisdom
It's a
saving
wisdom,
throw.
wisdom saving throw. That is correct. Sorry, wisdom saving throw. 21.
Shit. Okay, yeah, that beats me.
As she is now being put upon by everyone and is a little not happy about this. And this dude just ran up to her and tried to slash her dress. Honestly, she's very offended. It is very upsetting, and I cannot handle this.
Is she still in the moonbeam?
She is. She's still taking damage, but
Again, that's I'm assuming it's not 7 hit points ain't gonna do a whole lot to this chick
not in the
because I
moment.
rolled almost maximum damage.
Not at the moment right now.
Yeah.
Plus she has something going on where it's not doing as much damage as you thought. But you want to know what's really kind of funny? I just want to point out, you're kind of standing right in front of her, aren't you, Thorn?
Oh yeah, no, he would have. He would have run up because I assume she's facing the room, and he ran from down in the room. So yeah, I'm sure that I'm about to get cone blasted by some crazy bullshit. Some magical
Cones are so...
I don't like.
or lightnings
I
or
don't like
whatever.
it.
Whatever comes my way.
I don't.
I mean, like I said, cones are so blasé, and instead, could I please have a deck save?
Sure.
I just feel like I need a deck save. I'm sorry.
Before the end of my turn, I wanted to give Bardic Inspiration to Bondbrus.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, my fault. That is
So
my
you
fault.
get 1d10.
Cool.
To 12. I'm gonna let the dice tell the story.
Well, that's fair.
Well, because I don't. I mean, again, I've already burned.
That's entirely
things.
entirely fair.
I think it gets a little weird if I just keep burning all of our.
Yeah. I need. Well, I'm gonna make the guards roll. How close are you to her to where are you in relation to this guy who just ran up and swung things, Bandabrus?
I have to be within 30 feet of her.
So yeah, I need a dex save from Bandabrus. Where are you, Malik?
I would also probably have to be within 30 feet to cast Fear. So
Big question. Hey, I get to say that. I get to say the thing that that our buddies on said before. Is Bandabrus within? Are you within 10 feet of her, which would put you within 10 feet of me? Because then you're in my aura.
No, I probably
Wouldn't have gotten that close.
no, because I if this is a Rakshasa, I remember those wounds. That hurt.
Okay.
So no.
Cool. Just checking because I do
Oh,
have.
thank
I
you.
am still a paladin, so I've got things and stuff.
Yep. Cool.
I'm going to use my personal luck and re-roll that.
You need a 19.
20.
Okay, so you're gonna take half
Nice.
damage.
Cool.
And Malik, I need a dex save from you.
Dex, sure thing.
Because she can do a fun
Sure
thing.
glad I used my lay on hands when I jumped off the balcony.
Oh, good. You're gonna take half damage from this. As a bolt of lightning shoots through and she bends it
Okay.
as she wishes. You can just see it shift and move around the room. Fun things that you can do.
I have one
Okay.
more
This is an attack.
third level slot for Revivify. Thorn, don't worry.
We're
I'm still
having
good.
fun. I mean,
I'm still good.
I've got some. I've got first and second level slots in. I can still cast Cure Wounds.
Is that's her turn though? Yeah.
That's an attack, yeah?
That's her turn
actually-
and an attack, yes.
Okay.
If I may, you're within 30. I'm going to shift my Abjurer shield in front of Thorn, so it takes the damage.
It takes the 30.
It takes the 30. It still has 3 left.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay.
So Bandabrus and Malik are both going to take half of the 30.
Yeah, I'll take the 15 myself.
And I take none.
No.
Yeah, you
because
take none.
Okay. Nice.
she has a fun thing where it lets her do a thing.
I would like to use Reaction of Hellish Rebuke at first level.
go right
Well-
ahead. She has to make a
Reflex save.
dex save. Yep.
Dex save.
Dex save. Actually,
Oh.
I can cast it at a higher level, can't I? It just says first level on my sheet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can cast it at higher levels for more damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's cast it at a third level then.
This is not as good, but not horrible. Oof. She's gonna fail that.
All right.
That is, and she is on fire in this cone. In this
Nice.
what is how much damage is that? That's
21 fire damage.
21 fire damage. She does not like that. She is like looks at you, go. At least I thought you were better dressed.
You should have stayed down.
Why? Taking 7 damage. She's taking a little less than you think she is.
Yeah, no, Moonbeam's still there, so might as well roll it. But I guess I can attack again. I can attack again with my weapons and stuff because she cast a spell, and we're on to the next back to the next round.
His Bandbris is
Oh yeah, he's in front of me.
have an action. Because his reaction was to shield you. I just want to see if he doesn't.
Yep. Sorry.
All right.
Then you can attack her.
You. Generally, my lady, you are causing an absolute scene. And as someone who causes scenes, I would know. I'm going to fire off a cantrip. Let's go with, because she's got so many good saves.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to have to Ray of Frost her. So yeah, let's Ray of Frost. 25, I think, hits.
Yes, 25 definitely hits. You needed a 16.
19 cold damage.
Oof. She did
And
not
her
like that.
movement's reduced.
Her movement
Right.
is reduced, and
No reactions, yeah. Or is that a different thing?
I think that's a different thing.
It's a different thing.
Yeah.
That's shocking grasp. Sorry.
Yeah.
on a hit, it takes cold damage, and the speed is reduced to 10 feet until the end of your next turn.
Yep.
Her speed is reduced. She doesn't like that. She doesn't like you. She doesn't like anything. And so it's Thorn's turn. She is not looking happy. There's a lot of sparks coming off
on.
of her hair at this
Ooh,
moment.
a 24.
That will definitely hit.
So again, do I get the on a 24? Do I get the things? Do I get the keys?
Yes, and the keys, you can get the keys on the 24. Yep.
Okay.
She is very not happy now. There are more sparks coming off of her hair.
Yep.
They're very oddly looking, though.
Because I used I didn't take my third attack because I said I'd use the shield to kick on my relentless pursuit. I movement and dash, taking the keys and getting away from her.
Oh, she's pissed now. Movement
So
dash, you go 90 feet.
No, I'm to go 60 because I took an attack. If I would have used my if
Yeah.
I used my action, I can go total and maximum is 90, but I still can go 60. So probably recognizing that she's a little icy right now.
Yeah, she's not happy. She's not happy with you. She's not happy with any of this. She's pissed. All of you are horrible people. And a tinge of green can be seen through this glowing moonbeam as everything just warps. And suddenly she's standing next to Thorn, reaching out to grab those keys. And looks to you and well, Bandabris and Malik, because you're within 30 feet of her when she disappeared. You must make a strength saving throw, please. You need to make a 19.
Okay.
Oof.
I'm going to use that D10 inspiration now.
Yes. So
Yeah,
you will
23.
not have a problem with this. But you will take damage from this. So, Malik, you are pulled off of your feet by the sucking vortex of energy as you just kind of are sucked into the moonbeam space exactly where she had disappeared from. And you're going to take 3d10 force damage and are prone. So 19. Bandibris, you feel that same kind of sucking vortex of energy, like the, pulling in, but you don't get pulled off of your feet and you only take half damage.
Okay.
And she is now standing next to Thorn and holding those keys.
Well, wait, did she just, do I even get a chance to?
Well, she's reaching for them.
I'm sorry. I thought she's reaching for them.
I'm going artfully. She's reaching for them.
Gotcha. Okay. I thought you were like, she already has them. I'm like, wait a second.
No. She doesn't have them yet. She can't at the moment take the action to seize them, but she.
Gotcha.
There was a tinge of green, a lot of awkwardness and
stuff and things.
And she's standing right next to you and reaching for it. Avi.
Yes.
Your young friend has come back to you and said that they have counted and that there are a number of people who are missing from the other room. And could you roll me a religion, please? $21. The number of people missing you're not 100% sure about, but the artful arrangement on the stairs, the people that are missing, the fact that a number of the people who are missing are priests and or clerics, which is also be pointed out to you, or had some tie to the divine, pings a little tingly sense in the back of your brain. You also tingles in the back of your brain. Something going. You remember vaguely in accounts that you may have read in the archives. You get a total number of people missing, by the way. It's 21. Three times 7.
Yeah. That is significant. Ritualistically so.
Mm-hmm.
This was much more than an assassination plot.
Yep. The only two members that you can see who are still upright and working that you've talked to before are Fiorella and Tibian. They're still in this room. Everyone else isn't.
I will try and get the attention of Tibian. It seems that we have a major development afoot.
What is it?
This was a much bigger ritual. Tell me a little bit more about Pilter. How are they connected to the divine?
I look at you very seriously, and I don't have the greatest possible insight, but is there like any like concern on your face at all, Javi?
Javi would be more expressing like they're trying to calculate a puzzle.
How smart am I? Not that smart. I'll look at
Than actual
you.
concern. So like it's super like thoughtful, but I don't know that it'd be super concerning.
I look at you almost quizzically then, and I'm just like, Filter is a Tempest cleric. You know, the lightning and the thunder.
Yeah. It seems
kind of
all
a thing.
21 that went missing have some sort of connection to the divine. There's something nefarious afoot. We must find the others.
The other clerics?
The other, anyone with power and influence. This is bigger than just an assassination attempt.
I mean, you have your pick of the litter. Everyone here is of a person of power, and
we need them all.
That is a big ask. What? I look over. I'm assuming, Theo, you're not too far away.
Yeah, I'm not too far.
And I wave you over, and I'm like, he is suggesting that this is there is something bad.
That's an excellent suggestion, Theo. You can command a room, obviously. We need everyone in any form of power to pay attention and to congregate.
Yes.
And figure out who it is that's trying to perform this ritual.
Ritual. How, on the scale of ritual what's your feeling on this?
History changing.
Oh. Well, I like things the way they are, so keep it that way.
You said ritualistic. I look around to see if Bandibus has returned from his walk, and also I'm gonna keep an eye out I'm gonna look for for Prince Agnar.
Bandibus has not returned from his walk.
There has been yelling.
But that's also down the hall, so you wouldn't necessarily have heard it.
Fair.
Agnar, however, has heard yelling because the guards who are in the room have also called out for assistance because there's now attacks going on in the room. And Agnar is grabbing you can see Agnar grabbing a number of guards. He makes eye contact with you, Theo, and then Tibian, and then bolts down the hallway.
I believe.
Don't even question it.
Let's go.
Already gone. Full every ounce of movement I have.
We will
action, regular, bonus,
magical inspiration. So you will move faster. Even faster. We will. This will require speed. So let's get there.
So the
I
two
don't even
of
know
you
what
are
that does.
running.
Even faster.
Get the extra reaction to move your speed.
Get an extra reaction to move. You use your reaction automatically to move your speed, which for you is... This is absurd. Remember, of course, that Tibian is a halfling.
I want Tibian just
200 feet.
I just want
200 feet already.
Punch this
I'm
person,
gone.
just like flash.
The world's fastest halfling. Yep. Javi, what do you see when you see those people running down the hallway?
A blur.
Javi is actually pulls out his deck and pulls a card and follows.
You want to move if Javi's one of the few people in this room, so if you want to come with us, if you want to spend your reaction to also come take the speed.
Okay, so that'd be 180 feet. I'm not quite as fast as the halfling.
I mean,
Look, we see this running down the hall. the speed of movement. The number of guards trailing behind, Agnar in moving in full speed. You hear shouts from inside the ballroom of secure the prince. Adama and Kalfani and Zakia have moved to double as bodyguards around Alexander and whoever else is still injured in the main room. Agnar is following you, and we see Tibian burst into the doorway just as this flash of greenish light goes off and Malik is pulled off of his feet. Bandibris is shooken but still standing. And this woman, this gorgeous woman with this plunging, beautiful neckline, honestly, she made Theo. Well, when she was standing next to Theo, there were people who were actually looking away from Theo for a brief period of time.
Oh, she's dead.
And she appears standing, looking up at Thorn angrily.
A guard, yeah. I still have a guard. So
Who still looks like a guard. Angrily reaching for a set of keys. But that's where we're going to end for tonight.
sweet.
Oh.
Hi, everyone. We having fun, aren't we? How we doing?
Yup.
Feeling all right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you all decided to have this fight.
All the important people are now in an even smaller room.
Yep.
It's gonna be great.
Uh-huh. It is a thing. But
I only have one more revivify. Be careful,
I
people.
was gonna say it's like, and we're lots of resources
I
down.
got a bunch of spells left.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the wizard's tagging out. The bards can tag.
I was gonna say the paladin is just gonna be, Actually, I'm running, so I'm playing keep away. Anyway.
But anyways, that's what. Hey, I'm here for all of this. Thank you, everyone. We're gonna go around. We'll do it in reverse order. We'll let everyone share where they can find you. Share some love with your friends tonight. What did you enjoy? What are you looking forward to? And then I'll get to do all my spiel at the end. So we'll start with Pope. Hey, Pope. How you doing? How's life for you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Bandibris is having the worst day ever. But I'm having a fabulous time with this amazing cast in this fantastic story. Hey, everybody, Pope here, Pope World Bill on Twitter, Pope World Bill on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. Just follow the Twitter. There's a ton of stuff going on. You can see me tomorrow over on Balrog 1911 at 2 p.m. for more Brinkwood, The Blood of Tyrants. Check out Wandering DM on Monday at 9 p.m. for the premiere of Montreal by Night, me with a certain someone. And yeah, thank you all for being here. We're a live VOD, YouTube stories, nothing without its audience. You're much part of this as we are. Thank you all so very much. Take care of yourselves more and more. See you around.
Okay. And then Tall Squall, how we doing?
Doing great. I am Tall Squall. You can find me at Tall Squall all over social media. You will find me here doing things here. And tomorrow night, you actually will find me for a one-shot over on the MS stream, where I am playing with folks over there at this same time, 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. So drop on by.
Yes, indeed. And go check out the MS stream tomorrow. They're raising money to end MS. There are lots of really great games going on all day. I'm just going to say that there are a bunch of people who are... we need to bomb at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, the MS stream, because the Opera Geek is DMing her first game on stream. And I feel like this is something that we need to support her in a lot.
For sure.
And also, be friends. But thank you for that one, reminding us. Lynn, hey Lynn, how are you? How's life?
Good. This is so much fun. I can't wait. Now that everyone is in a very tiny spot, I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, I'm Lynn, Gremlin Art, pretty much everywhere, Twitter, Twitch. Instagram, where you can find my art and what I'm doing for the next week. And next time you'll see me is on Monday for Klaus Kasvena on Girls Run These Worlds, where I get to play the opposite feel, a very sweet, understanding, understated cleric. It's very nice. And we're getting hunted by evil gods. So we'll see what happens.
That seems like it would be a problem. I'm just saying. I hope things go well for you. Chris.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Geary. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Geary. You can find me here Saturday nights. This is my only main streamed game right now. But it is a grand old time. I am quite interested in seeing what happens, and I do pity the woman if we, as a group, decide to play Keep Away with the Keys, as we do have two monkish characters that can sprint quite well. So come back and find out.
That will be a thing. PB, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Tivian is pissed. She is ready to fuck some shit up because she wants her pelter back. Hi, I am PV from at PV Plays Inside. You can find me on Twitter and on Twitch at PV Plays Inside. I play another game on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is a Call of Cthulhu game with Pulp Cthulhu rules, in which instead of Eldritch Horrors, we encounter SCPs. So if that sounds at all interesting to you, feel free to drop by twitch.tv/indoor adventures, where you could see us starting to get into like the real nitty gritty of it. We're in the middle of a foundation, and all hell has broken loose. There has been an invasion. Things are outside of their cages. There is no containment. And if you know anything about SCPs in the SCP universe, you know that's a recipe for disaster. And tonight, let me just tell you, we were talking about this over the break. I love the grumpy side of the group and the happy side of the group, and or the jovial, I should say. And I'm excited, and we have seen a little bit of both now. A lot of the grumpy, but I can't wait for you guys to see more of the jovial, especially when we clash together, kind of what we did with Bandabreast earlier today. And I thought, Pope, you played that beautifully, and I thank you so much, Lynn, for also playing along with that so well.
Indeed, that'll be a lot of fun to see what happens. I'm looking forward to it, and I know that. But that leaves us to last, but certainly not least. Hannah, how you doing? How's life for you?
Life's pretty good. Not super great for Malik at the moment, being thrown around like a rag doll, but you know, it is what it is. I'm Hannah. You can find me on Twitter at Hanimation Art and everywhere else at Hanimation Studios or at hanimation.shop if you want to see some of the cool stuff that I make and sell. And you can find me on the MS Society channel tomorrow at 2 p.m. for some D&D. Heck yeah. And then Thursday over on the Wandering DM channel for some Hill County horror, where we are encountering some spooky, creepy stuff at the Peach Festival. And on the Wandering DM channel on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, with the lovely, wonderful, beautiful Lynn, who I love and adore. We are playing some Scion. And then back here again, Saturday night for some more D&D shenanigans, where we try not to die, even though we're all out of spell slots. It'll be okay. We'll be fine. We have one Revivify left.
I can also cast Fist. So.
Oh, good. We're fine then. It'll be fine.
I'm sure that everything will be wonderful for you all. But as for me, you know me, everybody. I'm at Dirge on Twitter, or Praxgoeth as Meophoria, as you see me around here on Twitch, your friendly neighborhood Prax. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you to my wonderful cast for playing with me tonight. Thank you, everybody watching at home or you watching on YouTube. You can check out, if you missed anything, you can check out the VODs. They're everything's organized. Life is good. Next, you will see me on Monday with Pope over on Wandering DM for some with Trooper as we play some Vampire 5e, and I will just say that the drama is already existing, and y'all, I can't wait for it. Then Wednesday back here for episode 8 of the Long Retreat for Zweihander. Last week, Nethra found a tank and a being of chaos, but the tank is more important. The tank is more important. And then back here on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern for, well, we see what will happen as, apparently this woman wants these keys. She's not happy with Thorn taking these keys. And, unlike everybody else here, she still has all her spell slots. We'll see you next time, everybody. But we're gonna say goodbye for now. Bye.